Hey my friends! Alright, so I am ready to make art today. I have my cat right beside me. I'm petting her right now. She's actually purring. So hopefully the purring is not so loud. So what I have is I got watercolor paper right here. Let me check the size. It's 9 by 12 and weight is 140 pounds. I have my oil pastels here, and I got my watercolor pencils just in case. I don't know if I'm gonna use them, but we'll see. Alright, and I have a set of my watercolor brushes and tea. I forgot the name of this tea in English, but it's a really good tea. So I'm gonna have this on the side as well. Alright, so I just moved my camera a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to create today a mandala. It's been a while since I've really taken the time out of my day to make art these days. So I really want to get back into the routine a little bit and do some expressive art making. And I usually make mandala drawings and paintings a lot, mixed media. So basically a circle format, I'm filling in the circle, and I like to use the mandala because my hand just goes for it. My hand just really likes the filling in of a circle, a whole circle, and I think there's something grounding and centering about a mandala. And yeah, I really follow and listen to Carl Jung's thoughts on why he uses mandalas for his own artwork and his client artwork. So I follow his kind of thoughts, and I think that there's something very unifying and connecting about using a circle. Like it kind of unifies your thoughts and feelings. It connects maybe separate things together in a circle. So find it really nice to use a mandala or a circle form. So let's get started. I'm excited. I gotta be careful of not mixing my watercolor pink water with my tea. I hope it's pretty distinguishable for me when I'm in the flow of making art. You know, when you're in the flow, you get really carried away, kind of. So let's get started. I'm going to get started with just using my watercolor pencils. Just going to, I think I'm going to go for a brown today. I always go for something other than black when I draw the circle, when I do the mandala. And I feel like it is a little kind of significant moment for me when I choose that color for the circle. Anyway. So I like to just freehand draw my circle. I don't really use a template like a plate or anything like that. I make the circle pretty organic. Yay, it's done. The circle is done. I'm going to see. I'm gonna put my phone on airplane mode or silent mode so I can really focus on this. Okay, now I'm gonna go for my watercolor. I forgot to introduce my watercolors actually. So these are my watercolors, And it's been a while, so there's some, it's not that clean. It's not that clean. Okay, but we can work with what we have. We can definitely work with what we have. I'm gonna open the door for my cat to leave if she wants to. I always respect her choice. Alright, so I started with a brown line. I'm going to go for what feels good for me today. I usually don't have like a theme in mind when I do art making for myself. I just create something that my hand goes for. Alright, so I'm going for a nice green here. Green color. Let's start with this. Okay, my cat is trying to eat a snack here. She found a little snack on a tray. So I'm gonna give her some snack. Alright. Okay, start. Now that I have that green on there, I feel like it needs like brown. So as you follow me in this art making journey, you'll see like my thought process in the art making, in this drawing, in this painting. And that might be interesting to see. Because I think that everybody has a different thought process behind their drawing or painting. And I try to really just listen to my intuition as I go. What would feel good? What does this need? And just going off from that point, kind of continuously asking that question, what does this need? And what feels good next? Kind of. And always really just going where my hand wants to go almost. So not a lot of like thinking or planning or conceptualizing or even visualizing almost. I don't even visualize things, I think. It's more of, it's more of a very intuitive process. Alright, so I'm going to go for this new brush. I'm going to recreate this color, brown color, in my watercolor, using my watercolor. I like that kind of dull brown. Let's see. Let's fill it in. Okay, gotta have a sip of my tea. use a really small brush. Maybe I'll just use my palette here. Alright. So I think sometimes I get questions on like, as an art therapist, what kind of art do you personally make, and things of that sort. So here it is. This video is exactly for that. I believe that all art therapists are artists, and you know, sometimes we don't make art, sometimes we do, sometimes we actually professionally make art and sell the artworks, but sometimes we don't. And yeah, everybody's different, but I do think that all art therapists are, you know, they're trained in art and they have their own process, definitely. So it can all look different for sure. Everybody, some people might do photography, some people are into more like ceramics, which I was into as well. Not so much these days, but definitely feel like ceramics is one of my passions. Working with clay, it's actually very powerful. I believe that medium is a really powerful medium. Yeah, so I'm trying to make this part really dark, but I think the watercolor is not really helping. So I'm going to go for oil pastels right now. See if there's a color that's really close to almost black. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. I'm going to, I like the gritty texture of this though. Texture of oil pastels. I do have really nice kind of high quality oil pastels too, but today I really wanted to go for these really, I mean, these are really like student quality, more affordable type of oil pastels. And what I like about these is that they're actually more gritty, and sometimes you want that gritty texture, and I find that the high-end oil pastels have more like a smooth texture, which is great, but sometimes you don't want that smooth texture. So I like these two. Okay, I'm putting a lot of pressure into my oil pastel right now to create a little bit more smoother, opaque finish. A lot of browns in this painting. Yeah, a lot of browns. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go for green. See how that goes. I wonder what you guys' go-to mediums are. My go-to are really for my own self-care and art making. I really go for oil pastels. I really like using my hands to, you know, spread around the pigment. Something very satisfying about that, and also the boldness of the colors I really love. I think I really like being expressive, and oil pastels really give me the means to do that. So one of the things I think a lot of people don't know about in terms of art therapy is that art therapists use certain materials in their work for certain psychological and emotional effects. So they give or they suggest clients to use X material, let's say oil pastels or watercolor, if the client is dealing with X problem or X issue, because they know that material is especially helpful for that person's emotional and mental state. So yeah, our therapists are really, they know how like specific materials affect our psyche and our emotions and feelings, and they use that knowledge to kind of almost like not prescribe but really help the client get that, attain that therapeutic goal, whether that's grounding themselves, calming themselves, or getting more insight or clarity into their problem, things like that. So depending on the goal and where the client is at, their history, the situation, what's really available in the studio, honestly, that's also a limiting factor. But those things affect the art therapist's decision on what to really present to the client, how to really guide the client by choosing what materials. So this is just something that I feel like people don't know about, and I thought maybe let's mention that as we chat along this art making process. I hope that you are making art as well right now. I really encourage you to. And also remember that there is no wrong way to make art, for sure. That's always what I say when I work with clients. There is no wrong way to make art. And when we really embrace that stance, that approach, then we become so much more expressive, so much more feeling liberated and having the freedom to be just us, to be you, right? And not censor ourselves, not correct or perfect ourselves or cover up ourselves or pretend anything else than being us, right? And it gives us a lot of freedom and and feeling of being okay just as you are. And that's the point of art therapy, honestly, to feel good, to feel you can be you, to feel all the emotions that are coming up. Because if you don't feel your emotions and you just suppress them, they'll come back up again in different ways, even physical ways too. All right, so I've added a lot of old pastels here, ochre color, yellowish, brownish color. I'm going to do this part. Let's see what would be good. What feels good? I think kind of a lighter color, I believe, would be nice. Yep. Yellow. Something that adds a little glow. Yep, that feels really good. The green. Perfect. All right, so that feels really good. Let me add a touch of brown in here. I'm gonna add my last touches now, guys. I wonder how your art making is going. Okay. Alright, and maybe add some definition here and there. Yep. All right, so I feel like I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I'm going to move my stuff a little bit and my art materials, just to the side so that I can really look at my artwork and reflect on it a little bit. So I don't know if you guys do this, but I really recommend, if you make art for your self-care, then I really recommend that you reflect on your artwork when you're done. Like, don't just shove your artwork away when you're done, right? Which you can totally do, is okay, but I think there is much to be explored and found through reflecting on your artwork, right? So I don't know if you guys see my other exercise videos, but I often give you guys like reflective questions that you can write about, like questions that you can answer in your journal that deals with what's inside the artwork, how you feel about it, your reactions, things like that. So even though right now I don't have my journal, which maybe in my future videos I can do that and actually write in my journal, but I'm just going to reflect on my artwork and maybe just see what comes up. This is just this process that I do for myself. So when I look at my artwork, let's see. I feel like there's a lot of movement. I feel like, although I think the movement really surrounds this thing, which kind of makes me think of an egg, like an upside down egg where the pointy side is here. It's, yeah. Yeah, almost, perhaps even like a womb image comes to my mind. It's so interesting. I feel like it relates to me trying some new things in my business right now, and actually for my YouTube too. This is my first video doing this type of stuff, like making art with you guys, showing my process of making art and taking you along that journey, even if it's short or long, whatever the length, and just kind of talking along the way and being me. And so yeah, I think that pretty much reflects where I am right now. I'm in this kind of gestation period, or like almost starting period, where there's a lot of movement, there's things to be born, there's creation happening, also creating art. I'm trying to get back on that too, right? So that's happening, and I feel kind of excited, but also very not too sure or clear about what's gonna happen. Like there's no clear path in here. There's no like linear, road or path right here. So I'm pretty accurate of where I am, and I always find that. So with my mandalas, like it always really connects to how I'm feeling at the moment, what I'm thinking, what I'm going through, really. And yeah, that's why I think that mandalas are so powerful, especially if you do it in a way that allows you to just create without thinking too much. All right, so I feel like I'm pretty much done. Thanks so much for following along this journey of making art for myself. I hope to do this pretty regularly, so I can definitely explore different materials. I am actually ordering some new art materials, so I'm actually excited about trying those out and sharing that with you guys too. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me give you a little peek of Boru, my cat, how she's doing right now. I know what she's doing, but I want you guys to see how she is right now, because it's kind of funny. So here we go. Alright, so here she is, right next to my art making area. She's on top of my little hat. Yep, she's there. All right, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.